good morning. We are getting ready to dive into our unit on Alma Thomas, where we're going to be exploring our knowledge of color theory. And we're going to be adding to our knowledge of color today by learning how to make tints and shades. So we're going to be completing an exercise. This is an example of one completed in class by a student last year. So we have our page of our tints and our page of our shades, and I'm going to be walking you through how to do this today. So you'll notice that at the top the student has the definition for each word. We're going to do that in a minute. And then they have the examples of the tints and the shades set up to compare. So you'll notice that the page with the tints is much lighter and the page with the shades is a little bit darker. So we're going to start with our tints, and I'm going to put this aside for now. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write out your definition for tint. So here's my book with my definition, and I'm going to put the definition typed up out onto the screen for you so that it's easy to copy. So tint is essentially a pastel. It's often referred to as a pastel. It's a color plus white. In watercolors, because we do not have white in our paint palettes, the way we're going to be making a tint with our watercolors is we're going to be adding water to the color, because we know that the water will lighten the color that we're using. Okay, so a color plus white. To make a tint using watercolor, we add more water to the color. All right, so the very next thing that we did after that definition was written down, so you're going to probably want to pause the video, write out your definition. You can write this any way you like. If you know cursive and you want to use it, that's fine. If you know bubble letters, feel free to add and make this look more interesting or more creative for you, okay? All right, so once you've activated your paints, you should be activating your black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And you already know that is just adding a drop of water to each of the paints that you're planning to use. You may want to have a wipe or a paper towel on hand if you don't already. And then also make sure that the top of your palette is clean. And of course, we're gonna need water in our paints. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna lay our colors out to make sure we have enough room. I am going to be using an angled flat brush for this activity, but any brush will do. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer for you so that you just can see it a little bit closer up as I'm working. Okay, hopefully that won't move around too much. So I'm going to start with my violet this time. So you'll notice I have my palette turned so that the violet is at the top. And I'm not adding anything to the violet right now. I'm just using the violet or purple that's already in my palette. And I'm just going to neatly paint that onto. Okay, I'm going to be switching colors. So I am going to wash out my brush. I'm going to switch to blue. I'm going to leave space in between these. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to use my green now. Again, leaving a space. Wash your brush really well because you're going to move into your yellow. Rinse my brush again. Orange. Brush. And I'm going to finish with red. Okay, so once you have each of those on there, so you know you've had enough room and you've laid it out so you know what order you're working in, you're going to rinse your brush again. And the idea is that you are going to practice alternating between the color as it is and creating a tint. So we're going to set this up in our phone. Okay, so I've rinsed my brush out and I'm going to go back to my purple. And I am essentially going to leave a space in between the color, the mark I'm about to paint on my paper and the one that I've already put on there. So I want to leave enough space that I can go in there with a tint. Okay, so space in between each one. You're going to go the whole way way across the paper with that. And make sure you're leaving enough space. I may have done mine a little too close together. Let's see once it dries. Okay, so I have little squares of purple essentially across my paper. And part of the reason we're practicing making little squares on our paper is that we just looked at Alma Thomas's work, and we know that she had something called Alma stripes, which were often made up of shapes very similar to this. Okay, so we're going to rinse our brush out again, and we're going to use that first row kind of as a guide for us, and we're going to do our next row with our blue. So just regular blue, not watered down. Should go a little bit faster now, because you can use the ones above as a guide. Just make sure they're not touching, because if they touch, you should know at this point. Okay, and we're just going to continue this process the whole way down with each of our colors. So I may speed this up in the video for you, but I rest assured I took my time in real life. Okay, so as I was working, you may have seen me do a few lifts. Remember that if you get water on something or you have an accident, sometimes you can paint over it with water, press down with a clean paper towel, lift up, and it kind of fixes the mistake. And if you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, because this is a practice page. So I have finished painting in all of my regular colors. I've left spaces to put my tints in, because remember, we're working towards something that looks like this. So all I'm going to do now is let this dry so that my hand doesn't work across it and smear any of my paints. So while I'm letting that kind of dry up, what I'm going to do is start mixing my tints. So remember that a tint is essentially a pastel, a color plus white, but in watercolors, because I don't have white for you to mix it with, we're going to use water. So I'm going to take my purple and I'm going to mix that in the top of my palette. And I'm just going to add water to it. And by adding water to it, I should have created a much lighter violet or purple, so something more like a lavender. Okay? All right, so remember that you want to make sure that you're not having your two wet watercolors run side by side. This isn't fully dry. If you're feeling like you need for it to dry, you can set it aside for a little while and you can set up your page for your shades. I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do with this because I think I have enough control to be able to do it. Okay, so I am going to be painting the spaces in between each of these with that very light tint that I made. And you can see it on the screen, but it is very, very light. So I could add a touch more violet to it without it becoming exactly the same color. So I may do that just so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm just going to paint in between each of these, leaving spaces of white. And this is actually really good practice because, like I said, you are going to be doing this in your project. So I just had those two run together a little bit, so I'm just going to lift that up. Okay, and now I'm going to repeat the process with my blue. So I'm going to take my blue paint and my palette, and I'm going to add water to it. Then I'm going to repeat this process for every single one of these. And I am going to speed this up in the video for you, but please take your time while you're painting. Okay, same thing for my green. I'm going to make sure that when I mix my green, I'm going to put it a little lower on the palette so that it doesn't mix in with the blue, because we're not trying to make a blue-green tint, just a regular green. So green plus water to make our tint. If it's too light, add a little bit more paint. Okay, now for our yellow. Be careful with how much water you add to the yellow, just because yellow is already fairly light to begin with. So you definitely want to add water, but make sure that you can still see it when you paint it on your page. One's a little harder to see on the screen, but it is definitely there. Okay, at this point you may need to clean out your palette. So if that is the case, you're going to take a wipe or a paper towel, you're going to clean out the top, and then you are going to continue painting in your tints. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. Just adding a little bit extra layer to my tint because it was really light. Okay. So I'm going to clean this. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to clean out the top so that I have room to mix up my last sets of tint. Okay, so it's all clean. Move this back onto the screen and just repeat the process. So I'm going to take orange. Repeat the process for red plus water. This is where you get that pink color that you guys talk about, your red looking pink. It's because you have a lot of water in it. Okay, and then if you have room at the bottom and you want to try doing brown or another color at the bottom, you certainly can, or you can stop there. You're going to let that dry, and then we're going to move on to making shades in the next video.